Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show from the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar where we're going to be trying Green River Bourbon, their foolproof offering. My name is Steve Akeley, joined by Darren McCroy and Clayton Sabacker. What's up, gang?
Nothing. What's up with you, Steve?
How's it going?
Good seeing you guys, and yeah, this should be good. Clayton, I understand there's a whole group. We in our world, you're Clayton, but you are Clay amongst your friends, right?
Yep.
Really?
All the old guys back in St. Peter's, yep.
So, who else calls you Clayton besides, like, the Barrel Shop people? Because I think that's how most Barrel Shop people know you. If someone met you here, I'm talking about, like, a Kyle Neely or somebody like that, they'd probably say, hey, Clayton, what's up? Where does that cut off? Is, like, your college friends all Clay people, or what about work people?
College friends are Clay.
Okay, what about work people?
But a lot of them are, I've known them in high school because I played volleyball with all of them.
Okay.
Work people, it's always Clayton.
Clayton, okay.
But I try not to talk to as many people as possible.
Right.
Let's get that
right
out there. But yeah.
Family? What does family call you?
I think they call me Clayton. I think that's most of them do. And I think that's like across the board for everyone that is, in the family for whatever their name is.
I feel better about that because I don't want to call you by the wrong name. But if your family's calling you that, I feel like that's the most common thing. You had a couple friends come in like over the holidays, and they were like, "That's Clay," and I was like, "Clay, that's Clay."
There's a fine line there because there's the friends that call me Clay, then there's the friends that just insult you because that's just your friends. That's what they do.
Right.
They just say something. You don't have a name. They just say something negative to you.
Yeah. Well,
for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah. So before we get to the show, Darren, there's something you said you want to talk about. What is that?
So I recently just went to Bourbon's Bistro.
Yes.
I took my sister and my brother-in-law.
For the first time?
No, I've been there to eat, but my sister and brother-in-law have not been.
Okay.
They went for the first time. My brother-in-law, like myself, got the pork chop. I was going to get something new. Have yet to get something new there.
Hard to get something different.
But he said if I was eating at this place any more often than once a week, I would order something different. But I think weekly you could go back to that.
Right, yeah.
When you guys go out to restaurants, is there, I don't order the same thing as I got last time? Do you look forward to having that same thing most of the time? Or is there, I just had that the other day, I can't have it yet? If somebody was like, hey, I want to go to pizza place, Nubby's.
Right.
Would you be like, no, I went there the other day, I don't want to go? How are you usually...
No, I think this is a good topic, and I kind of agree with what your brother-in-law was saying. I agree with the concept of if I was going there more frequently, I would be more exploratory on the menu. But when I'm only going to Bourbon's Bistro, and how many Bourbon's Bistro meals do I eat in a year? 2 or 3?
Yeah.
And I love the pork chop. I'm going to get the pork chop every time because it's not like I'm getting it too much. I mean, it's the only thing I get when I'm there. And I've tried other things there through the years and stuff like that, particularly when I was staying there because I'd be at dinner there most nights, and then I would try some other things like the burger's fantastic, the shrimp and grits is awesome, but even the steak is really good. But I think that for the amount of time that I eat there, it's appropriate to get what you really love.
Yeah.
And so that's it. And I do kind of the same thing with with Nubby's, I typically, unless I'm going there multiple times, and sometimes that happens, then I will get something different. I'll be like, we were just here. I'm going to get the barbecue this time.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I don't eat there enough where I'm like, I like the pepperoni and bacon pizza. That's what I'm going to get. So, yeah, that's kind of how it falls out. How about you, Clayton?
That's a tough one. Like, for me, like, say, we eat a lot of Mexican.
Right.
I will always get... when I eat Mexican, I like all of the basics. I will always have a meal with rice and beans.
Okay.
If it doesn't have rice and beans, I probably won't get it unless it sounds really good, and then I'll get a la carte rice and beans. Like, I like to get a little bit of everything. So when it comes to stuff like that, I'm a little more, I guess, getting the same things because I just like the basics. But when it comes to other places, if I'm at, again, we're talking like smaller restaurant, like if I'm going to Texas Roadhouse, because I know I like everything there, I will get something different every time because I know I like everything and I've had everything. So I'm not as apt to just get the same thing over and over.
All right. Well, you went to Bourbon's Bistro last year, right? What did you have?
I had the filet, and then for dessert, I had the
bread pudding.
Bread pudding.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So if you went back, would you get those same things, or would you try something different?
I would absolutely get bread pudding for dessert,
and maybe for his entree too.
Yeah, and my appetizer.
Right.
But I would try something different because my wife and I usually don't do a whole lot of like really nice dinners, just because we're just not that kind of people. And so
I understand.
When I went there, I sat there. I thought, I really wanted to get this, but then in the back of my mind, my wife would tell me, if you're going to go somewhere and spend the money, splurge on it.
Right.
Get the filet, get the nice steak that you really like.
What I would encourage you to do, though, is to try that pork chop, and then you might find the thing that you're stuck on, because it's that good. It's that different. I don't recommend the pork chop anywhere else.
I am a huge pork chop. Like, if you go to Twisted Tree up in South County, I am a huge fan of their pork chop.
Okay.
Love it. So I'm typically
one of those guys
that gets, like, pork
I don't
fish.
typically get the pork chop, but I'm telling you, at Bourbon's Bistro, it's different.
Something about that sauce and just the tenderness, it is perfect. It is.
It's so tender, yeah.
Now, is theirs a bone-in?
Yes,
yes.
Bone-in.
Yep.
Okay. My brother-in-law was actually like, we were going to Neat Whiskey Bar afterwards. He's like, I think I'm just going to take this bone and suck on it on the way to Neat. But thankfully, he didn't do that.
Get pulled over. What are you doing, sir? I'm just sucking on a bone.
and then go, from Bistro? Oh, yeah, you're good.
You're okay. Third time that's happened tonight. You're okay. What about you, Darren? You asked the question.
So, I like to eat the same thing. Like, not often, but like I go to Tiger Soup Dumplings a lot. That is probably the restaurant I go to the most because I think they're amazing and it's different and something I can't cook at home. And every single time I get 2 beef dumplings and a peach dragon tea. Like, if it's not broke, I don't need to fix it.
Right.
And even if I go multiple times in a week, which I never do, but I could get the same thing and be perfectly fine with that. Maybe every day for a week I'd be like, but
I think you said something there that's really important is that you can't cook yourself.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of again, when I go to certain places, I can cook chicken, I can cook steak. It might not be to that level, but I can cook it well enough that it's good. There are certain things that if we go somewhere and I can't make that at home, I'm getting that every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good standard.
I think that's really a really big point right there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, mix it up if you want, but if you're not going there enough, don't feel bad. Just get what you love, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
I've gotten the pork chop 4 times now. So I've been to Bistro 4 times, and I'm going 4 for 4.
4 for 4.
And
Not 1,000 on the pork chop.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll ever change.
Right.
While we're on the topic, have you... I don't know how long this place has been there, but there's like a gin bar right next to Bistro now.
Oh, that was not there before.
And so it's like the front half of it is like a plant store where they sell plants.
Yeah.
And then the back half is a bar.
Okay.
And this was our first day in Kentucky. We're like, yeah, I think everything in Kentucky to be a successful business, you have to have a bar.
Right.
Even the plant store. They're selling botanicals, and then they're saying, hey, this is what we're doing with them. You know?
It was actually a really neat store, and they had a ton of different gins and mezcals. And the bar was actually so packed that we didn't even think about getting a drink. I mean, probably wouldn't have, but they were packed. Now the plant side is not very packed, but It's just an interesting combination of things that you see when you're in
that's
Kentucky.
cool. That is very cool. So, yeah. Making your way in a gin store in Kentucky is tough, so you got to stand out. You got to put a plant store in there, too, and
Be right next to Bistro is...
Be right next to Bistro, yeah. Get their spillover.
Yeah.
Hey, try this. Here's something different. So, I don't know. That's interesting.
It was a really nice looking place. I popped in there. It's worth taking a look around.
Take a look around. Okay, fair enough. All right, on that note, what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be trying this Foolproof from Green River. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hi, this is Rick Brenner, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Shouldn't it be the legend?
Maybe.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Steve, Darren, and Clayton. We're here at the ABV Barrel Shop, sitting at the tasting bar, and we're getting ready to try the Foolproof from Green River. What do we know about this, Darren?
So this one particular release is coming at 117.3. Okay. So that's a nice proof. And retail should be about $50. Which is just amazing to me for a cask strength. Like, even Jim Beam doesn't really have a Knob Creek single barrel would be their closest, and that'd be like 60.
Yeah, so that's good. Pricing is always good with Green River. They're solid when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's give this thing.
Ooh, that's a very fruity nose.
Nose is good, yeah. Man, let's taste it. See what we got.
Wow.
Yeah, that drink's really easy. It's excellent.
Nice flavor.
Nice finish to it. It sticks around with you a little bit spicy. So, yeah.
I was going to say a whole thing about how this could be, because when you go order cocktails at places, you don't have high-proof stuff in cocktails.
Right.
Partially because they want you to buy more drinks.
Correct.
But I was going to say this would be a really good one to try and push that narrative to make more cask strength cocktails. Yeah. But honestly, you might be doing a disservice by putting it in a cocktail.
Well, yeah, but it's affordable enough where you can do that if you want to do that.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the old better ingredients, better cocktail, I guess. So the Papa John's approach, I guess. And, yeah, good stuff. By the way, if you're ever at Bourbon's Bistro, and you have Mike as your bartender, which most likely you are, but he gets days off. But as long as he doesn't have a day off, it's going to be Mike behind the bar. Ask him about Papa John. Ask him about the man himself, not the company.
Okay.
He comes in there. He's a customer there. He's got good stories. Ask him about that guy. It's hilarious, and it gets him going. Mike's easy to get going, and that's one of the things that'll push his buttons.
So we weren't sitting at the bar. We had a table. But man, he was working like a dog. I like said hi to him, and he's like, "Hey, oh hi, how you doing?" But like was trying to keep everything up. It was insane for him there.
Yeah.
And I think most of the people were just sitting there listening to him talk.
Right.
And they didn't have any food in front of them.
Mike is the perfect bartender because he can talk about any topic. I'm convinced of that. I try to throw him off and talk about different things, and he knows enough about everything that he can talk to any customer whatever they want to talk about.
It's impressive.
That's really good. So yeah, and then you think, well, he's not going to know anything about pop culture. I've talked about Britney Spears. He knows everything about that shit, and he's very passionate about it too. So yeah. Yeah, so we did a show. It's worth watching. Look it up on the Bourbon Sasquatch YouTube channel. It's called Bourbon Reminiscing. You look that up, and Mike is in there. So he's in there with Phil Collins. So you get different people paired up, and we just threw out pop culture stuff and then have people talk about it. And what was cool is we shot it with enough people weighing in on these things. We were able to take the best responses out of all that. So we had, at least 10 groups of 2 that were doing that, and then you get the best responses on all those things. So it's pretty cool. Well, definitely worth watching. Bourbon Reminiscing. Never, not a whole lot of downloads on that one, but there should be. It's really good. Bronner's incredible in there, by the way. So he was annihilated.
No, he was tanked. I think is the technical term.
Yeah, and then he had Weebrink with him, who was not tanked, and it was funny to see those two. So yeah. But yeah, good stuff. Well, there you go. Once again, Green River exceeds expectations. They really pack a lot of punch for what they do, and pricing is always great with those guys. So appreciate what they've got going on. So on that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Clayton, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Yep, you can find me at the Jefferson County Bourbon Collective on Facebook and at Jeffco Bourbon Collective on Instagram.
All right, Darren.
You can find me on Instagram at the Bourbon Adventures.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. All of our previous content is out there. Also, come by and see us at the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online at abvbarrelshop.com. Also, you want to get involved in the show, give us a 5-star review. That helps new people find the show, especially when you leave comments. That really helps out a lot. And last but not least, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. That's going to do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya!
Bye, y'all.
Till next time.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.